Okay, does that help somewhat?
Let's see.
Can you hear us or?
Can't see. Nope. Nothing here either. Hang on, folks.
All right, do you hear us yet or see us? There you are. All right,
All
yes.
right.
Can you
Now
hear?
can you hear us and see us?
Yes.
Okay.
We have been talking for 5 minutes.
We've been sitting here talking, thought y'all could see us or hear us, man. We could see ourselves, but nobody else could see us.
There you are.
All right,
okay.
guys.
We
Okay.
obviously were in the wrong room, or we did not have
No,
something.
actually, we were playing a real cruel joke on y'all just to see what y'all would say. See if you loved us enough to hang on, you know?
It's offline again.
What?
Really? Okay, on again, back off again. Are we on and off or what?
Okay.
This is crazy. It could be the weather.
It's the weather, y'all. It's so freaking cold here, we can't even see straight.
Okay, we're not sure.
All right. Let's say we're good now. See you a bit, but buffering a bit. Okay, we're going to buffer some because of our
crazy internet.
Our crazy internet. The weather.
One day we're going to get some good internet, you guys.
Okay. Okay. Oops, cut out. Well, okay, right. Wee Tree, thanks for posting that. Okay, now we can see how many's watching. That's because, see, we wasn't on a while ago.
Obviously, we were just talking away, had no clue, and obviously there was nothing we could do.
All right, y'all. We
had a crazy week. We'll just start over. We're going to condense it down.
No, we've had a crazy week. Our week started off, we got 9 inches of rain the first couple of days this week. It was bad.
But we needed the rain. While the Dirts were here, Danny got 2 of the places we garden plowed. So the rain has been awesome because it's soaking in. It's not running off there. So that was good. Then what else? After that, it kind of was a couple of days was really nice.
Yeah, we had a couple of pretty nice days actually, but then all hell broke loose. I mean,
it turned cold.
It started raining. It started sleeting and freezing rain. Everything was freezing over, and just South Mississippi's not set up for this. But you know, but looking at it from a positive side, we really needed this cold weather, just simply because, you know, we needed something here to kill some insects. We didn't have any cold weather last year, and so far this year we hadn't had any cold weather. And this, you know, we're kind of hoping that these days of cold weather does us some good here with our insects and stuff. And plus, our fruit trees, to be honest with you, had leaves on them till yesterday.
Yeah, and we had a sunflower plant out here that came up volunteer, and yesterday it was still up looking pretty nice. So, I mean, we've had a lot of weirdness going on here, but I'm telling you, it's been crazy, but it's been nice. We woke up to freezing this morning. I've got pictures on Facebook of the frozen ground.
Yeah,
it was really pretty.
Literally ice spewing up out of the ground.
But I didn't get it on Instagram. I am going to tell you guys, I am on Instagram. If you want to go over and follow me on Instagram, don't ask me how. All I know is I've made it on there. You have to figure it out if you're on Instagram, how to find me. And I haven't posted in a couple of days because I just hadn't been able to get.
Well, we've been busy. I mean,
I did post something today, a sourdough starter.
Yeah.
Patty Alderman and them were here. Was that Monday?
Yes.
I think it was Monday. The day it rained so much, y'all.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. And she and I did a video and we talked about making bread. And I told everybody that I was going to be the guinea pig for gluten-free sourdough starter. So I'm in the process now of making sourdough starter gluten-free, and we will see how the bread turns out later this week. And there'll be a video after that. So look for the video the end of next week or somewhere along that way.
Okay, y'all asking, how is the greenhouse? Well, I should have brought the stuff in here and showed them what you picked today.
I don't know if it's on Facebook.
Is it on Facebook? A lot of people don't do Facebook though. But
yeah. Deep South Homestead on Facebook. I showed the peppers, the tomatoes, and the lettuce that I picked out of the greenhouse today. And I had some of it for supper. So
Yeah, we actually wanted to. I mean, we got down to 40 degrees in the greenhouse last night. The temperature here last night got down to 22 degrees, and with a wind chill of 15 this morning. Down to 15 degrees, and it's just bad. I mean, y'all, it was, I mean, I once you get older like us, I've got porch time coming up this week, y'all. It uh, talks about getting older and living in colder conditions and stuff like that, how it affects you when you get older on a homestead. So I hope y'all look forward to my porch time this week, because it's going to be dealing with age and cold weather and stuff, how it affects you.
yeah, and we've had so many things going on this week. One of them, I was chatting back and forth with Patera the other day, and she was laughing at me because I was cooking on the wood stove. That morning it was what? It was in the low 40s.
It was in the 40s.
It was in the 40s. So we started the heater, and we thought it was going to be cold all day. And so I started stew on the wood heater, and I had to keep that heater going. I could have fudged and went and put it on the stove, guys, but I didn't. I kept the heater going, and Patera was laughing at me because I had a tank top on, and I was running out the door, cooling off, and then coming back and keeping my stuff going. So she and I put up my video on the stew, and she put up her video on chili. She cooked on her wood stove. So you guys go check Patera's chili out. She's laughing at me in that video because I was in a tank top. But y'all, if you live in South Mississippi and you cook on a wood stove, it's just going to be hot.
Yeah, a lot of the different ones have asked, is anything frozen? No, we left all of our pipes dripping. They're still dripping right now.
The chicken water.
The chicken water and their water is froze, the sheep water and the pig waters and all that. But we took and busted all that up and got it taken care of, and
the moringa did survive. The greenhouse got down to what, maybe 40?
Got down to 40, but now in the morning it's supposed to be colder than this morning was. So, I've got the heat lights on in the greenhouse and everything, but it's one of them things. I've had a wood fire going all evening with a pipe warming up the greenhouse, and at one point today I looked at it, and it was up to 80-something degrees in there, but I don't know if overnight, if it gets down close to 20 degrees tonight, I don't know if it's going to actually stay above freezing or not in there.
Yeah. People are ragging Patera about her farmers only.
Her dating site. Patera, believe it or not, I went to that website one time whenever I was single, and I'm looking for a date, and it actually exists. It's really it's a real site.
And actually, Danny and I met on Christian Mingle, which is a dating site, but it's not a farmer's dating site. But he did have that in his description.
That was in my description, though, that I did go there. So it does exist. Y'all gonna have to just bear with me a minute. I was up all night last night. You see this little wood heater right back here? This 20-something hundred square foot house, that little wood heater just don't heat it. And I had to stay up every hour last night putting wood in that thing to keep this house where me and Wanda could stand it. And we actually have to sleep here in the living room because we don't have any central heating or anything.
Skyper? S-K-P-E-R? I don't know.
What's a skipper? Skipper.
I don't know.
I think they were talking about, I'm not sure what they were talking about.
Do porch time in the greenhouse. He could do that.
I could do that.
It probably was warmer in the greenhouse.
It was warmer in the greenhouse than it was anywhere else today. I can tell you that.
On the porch. He was trying on the porch. It was cold.
Well, I mean, today I had to shoot. A lot of times we have to shoot these videos when we have to shoot them. We just have to put them up at certain times. But I had to shoot porch time today, and I'm gonna tell you, it was tough sitting on that porch out there in 15-degree weather shooting that.
It was 30.
Oh, it's Skype.
Oh yeah, Skype. That's the way you talk.
That's chatting back before two people.
Where you can see each other, and you can use Skype to make phone calls and things like that on the internet. And it's really a cheap way if you don't want to have a house phone or anything else to call people.
You can call people on Skype. That's what it is. Tommy was saying a while ago, Wait till I get old like him. Tommy, I don't know how old you are, but you can't be that much older than I am.
Yeah. And we had Tommy and Patty here this week, and we just really enjoyed. Patty and I had a ball.
Add Mr. Rain as a moderator.
Add Mr. Rain as a moderator. Okay.
Yeah.
Patty and I had a ball doing things this week, and we're going to try and do some a collaboration with Tommy and Patty coming up, but it may be 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see how things go, but we have some things going to come up, and Patty and I hit it off, I'm telling you, and Danny and Tommy hit it off.
Oh, me and Tommy
had a wonderful time, and we hope to get together with them more often because they do live right here. I mean, they're only what, 2 hours away? Or an hour and a half?
They're about 2 hours from us.
About 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, as a crow flies, it might be closer than that.
Yeah.
But Patera said she thought that stew meat looked great.
It tasted good. Something about cooking it on a wood stove just makes
that is amazing, though. Really, I mean, I have literally tested this before.
Yeah, with grits.
I took oatmeal. I took a pot of oatmeal and put it on that electric stove, and I put oatmeal on this wood stove. I cooked them both at the same time. Both the same exact way, same ingredients. The one on the wood stove was thick and creamy. The one on the electric stove was watery and runny.
And what was not creamy
at all.
Wasn't
creamy at all. I don't understand. I cooked them both the same length of time, same heat. It was just different.
Somebody's asking how my son is. He came home. He's been home all week. He goes back to work next week. Just has to watch it and take it easy, but thank you guys for the prayers. It could have been something really bad, but they caught it and got him to the hospital in time. So he's doing great.
Yeah, the wood heater, y'all, is one thing. I see some comments about the wood heater. The wood heater is one of the things in my porch time that I'm talking about this week. It's a bad decision that we've made here. Talking about as you get older. Wanda and I are not going to be able to heat this house with this heater sitting right here.
And he wants an Ashley, and I really don't want an Ashley. I want the.
Well, it doesn't matter. I just want something that I don't have to be poking wood in every hour. Yeah. I need something that'll burn 6 to 8 hours on a burn of wood, and it's got to have a rear exhaust in order for us to put it, because we want to put it in the fireplace right here, through the fireplace and out. And it's just been difficult for me to find a wood heater that has a rear exhaust. Everything we find wants to come out the top and go up like this one back here does, up through the wall up here. I don't need that. I want to take that out of that corner and put a window back in that corner and then put my wood heater through my fireplace. Susan saying add some gas lines. Susan, I looked into getting a tank, gas, and all the stuff here. It was going to cost me about $2,500 to do that.
Empty Hammock says,
and I could put in a nice wood heater for that.
Yeah, Empty Hammock says make a rocket mass heater. That's your job when you get here.
Oh, I've thought about rocket mass. Believe me, I've thought about it.
Yeah, we've we're hunting something that has the brick in it.
Simply Circus says hers has a top or a rear.
What kind do you have?
What kind do you have? Simply, we've looked at we've only been able to find like 4 different ones that have top or rear.
Rain Country wants to know how the teleporter's coming. Danny's working real hard on teleporting you and Mr. Rain here. It'll take a plane ticket or a bus ticket or something to get you here.
Big Bear, be careful there, Jason. You saying now I need a beaver blanket? Are you telling me that you want to make a beaver blanket for us? I've never slept under beaver hide.
What about a wood-burning insert? We really didn't want an insert.
Well, an insert won't work in this particular fireplace.
Oh, that's right.
This is a modular fireplace, one that you just put in. It's not a brick-laid fireplace, so you can't really do it in this one. I've looked at it, and as far as we talk about here, what is that? Tanya Wolf Farms, Finn. Tanya Wolf Finn. We can't use a pellet stove. A pellet stove is completely useless to us because as the power goes out, there's no auger to turn the pellets and go down into it. I've looked into that.
Yeah, and like Patera said, propane can fluctuate in cost. we're trying to stay away from having to spend so much. I mean, we can go fix the unit and pay power. If we're going to do that, I mean, we can spend a few $100s and pay for having the unit replaced or redone.
That'll be a few $1,000, not a few hundred.
Whatever it costs, but I mean, it would still weighing it out. I mean, we could do that before putting in a propane and all that. But
yeah, because we did look into putting in the propane thing. Time we run all the lines and buy the tank and fill it up with gas and put in the logs and all that kind of stuff. It was over $2,000. It's just, if I'm gonna do that, I want to spend the money on something I don't have to keep replacing.
Yeah, Patera says a Lopi will run you out the door. This thing runs us out the door. It's only when it gets as cold as it is now.
But the problem is you got to feed it every hour.
Yeah, we have to keep feeding it because we can't just put a lot of big wood in there because it will get too hot too fast. We need something with a consistent temperature and possibly a thermostat or something on it.
Simply says hers is an Englander, heats up to 2,400 square foot.
That's one of them we were looking at.
That's one that we were looking at is the Englander,
That was what we were thinking about.
Which variety of the Englander is it that you have? Do you have a number or design on it so I can look at the one?
Yeah, we've also got, let's see, what all have we started out with the wood chips this week.
Oh yeah,
we've told you guys that we really don't do wood chips because of the insects here, but they're cutting the power lines and stuff. So Danny told them to leave the wood chips that were coming off right in here so that we know we're not poisoned.
Yeah, well, what it is, I got them to dump me, was it three
loads right
three
now.
Big giant 18-wheeler loads of wood chips out on the property out here. I'm just going to leave them sitting in a pile, mainly just to let them rot down, just to make soil. I mean, that's it. We're going to use some of the mulch out of it around our plants.
Like the blueberries.
Like blueberries and stuff like that needs to have good acid-loving plants. We're going to be using it there.
Yeah. And so that's kind of...
Chicken coop is right. See, chicken coop, that's what I've been talking about to her. The Ashley's not pretty, but it fits a bill. I used to have an Ashley, and it worked perfect for me, but Wanda doesn't like the look.
It's not really the look. I know they put out the heat, but I want the smooth top cast iron that I can put my pots on top of. And I know you can raise that ugly lid and all that stuff, but I like that smooth top. I've seen several people have that. I'm just not sure how it's going to work here in Mississippi, no more than we need it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. Our thing is
Thank you, Simply. I'll check with you later on it.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Simply, because we are looking, looking for that type of wood heater, something other that we know will work. And our biggest issue is here, we don't get this cold spell we're having here now for these 4 days of below freezing. It's kind of unusual for us. And, these are the kind of days that just wears us out here, because one of us without a good wood heater has got to be up all night, every night, keeping the fire going. Because if we don't, this house, like you can leave the living room right now is about 75 degrees right here. But if you walk into the kitchen, it's already dropped to 68. If you go into the bedroom back there, it's done down in the high 50s in the bedroom.
Yeah, between 58 to 60.
Yeah, so that's how fast the temperature in this house drops down. And if we want to keep this room at 70-something degrees, we got to shut the doors in the other room. Our dining room is completely shut off. It's probably in the 40s in the dining room right now.
Yeah, and the bedrooms back here stay shut off. We only open them up if we have somebody here. Have you seen the Homesteading with Dutch, his heater? I think we did. I think that when we were looking, he had one that we were
I think it was.
He's got one similar to what I would like to have.
Yeah, Wanda wants to have one that you can look at the front door and see the fire burning in it. And I can't say anything because I love to watch a fire burn myself. I mean, that's
yeah, that's one thing he misses. When Ashley, you can cook on it. I realize that because we used to, not me and Danny, but back years ago. I've had an Ashley. He's had one. It's just that I wanted the cast iron with the fire brick and all. There's several
Yeah,
issues I'd love to have.
AC, super cool. So yes, we have a 4-ton central heating unit. We've had it fixed about 3 or 4 times. The heating side of it. Now, the cooling side works fine, but every time we have the heating side of it fixed, it'll run about maybe a day or two, and it burns back out again. And we've had completely rebuilt. It just seems like every time we turn around, it's pulling 10K or 15 kW. The the heating strips just keep burning out in it. I mean, we've put capacitors. I mean, you name it. We've went in there and rewired the whole thing, tried redoing it, and it just still keeps burning out on us. So we just finally gave up on it and said, you know what, we just won't do it no more.
Yeah. And so we're going to keep looking for a heater. That's one of our things. The heater and the tractor are two things that.
Yeah, the tractor's probably going to have to go on the back burner.
Yeah.
You know, because at our age, the wood heater is going to be one of the main things we're going to have to focus on right now, because I'm too old to stay up all night long keeping the fire going, because I've had no sleep. You know,
he's just tired. Y'all.
I'm just tired. You know, and
I may have to make him redo porch time, because he was really tired and I hadn't listened to it, so he's probably going to come off really grouchy. So we'll have to see if this porch time goes up or he has to redo. Probably redo. I'm voting for redo.
She's voting for a redo, but I don't know. I might not redo it.
Oh yeah, we might. Yeah, we've had. Let's see, what your porch time this time is homesteading for me. Some people thought you were kind of being grouchy with that one. Really,
well,
he was talking about things that people need to take into consideration.
Well,
he's not complaining.
No, I wasn't complaining about homesteading. I was talking about new time. You know, beginning homesteaders just need to be taught what it is. He
was asking questions, I guess, and his idea of a homesteader, he was saying, was somebody that lived on the place and worked from it, whether they used an income any way they did, but they mainly stayed on the farm and worked the farm. And a lot of people took offense to that, and he didn't mean to be ugly.
No, I'm not trying to be ugly about that.
A lot of people homestead in a lot of different ways, but he meant. I
was basing it on the way we homestead.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the whole issue. You know, it's just that so many people sugarcoat stuff. I've never been one to sugarcoat anything. If you ever ask me a question, it's like my daughters will tell you. If they're on here right now, they'll tell you. If my daddy tells you something, you can take it to the bank, because I ain't going to sugarcoat nothing for nobody. Nobody's ever sugarcoated anything for me. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. I'm going to tell you what kind of problems you're going to have and what kind of problems I've had and what to expect, because I like honesty. I want somebody to be honest with me, and so I feel like that it's only fair for me to be honest to y'all. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for a first-time homesteader. I'm going to tell them, look, it's tough being a real homesteader, having to get up on mornings like this morning and go out and feed animals when you got to bust ice. And
I found 5 of my baby rabbits dead.
She had baby rabbits born last night. Every one of them died. I mean, there's things like this. Things like this happen on a homestead, you know. And if you're a new-time homesteader and you can't deal with it, then you may not want to be a homesteader. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, and this morning was a prime example of being really, really tough, because I could have covered the rabbit's cage yesterday with the blanket. We've got things down over where the wind doesn't come in. I put extra hay in there twice yesterday. She was showing no signs of having her babies, and but I've been checking every day on her, and she was eating the hay instead of using the hay to
build a
warm
nest,
her babies. She was eating it.
She was eating it.
So I put hay in there twice before last night, and then this morning I'll go in there and there's hardly any hay. She's eaten most of it. She didn't have a lot of hair out,
right?
But there were 6 babies that she'd had during the night. But the plus side is I have 14 that are going on 5 weeks old.
Yeah.
And all of them are healthy. All of them lived. So those 14 made it just fine.
Yeah, like Barry said, romanticized homestead.
Exactly.
That's what, and I get so frustrated with people on YouTube not being honest with everybody. They go up and they put things up that's just honestly not true. And I don't want to do that. I don't want anyone to ever hold anything over my head and go, okay, what you just said was just not true. Because if it's not true, I'm gonna tell you it's not true.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of ups and downs this year, and everything hasn't been hunky-dory for us, and we ought to know how to do things, and we still make mistakes, and we're going to show you those.
I'm going to show you if I make a mistake. That's like these wood chips out here. I've had so many people tell me, you need to do the back to Eden, and I have done back to Eden for years here, and it doesn't work where I live. But just to prove my point, I had them dump all them wood chips here, and I'm going to do a bed out there just to show what I have to go through. Because if I put them wood chips out there and I put my plants in it, the first thing that's going to happen, fire ants is going to eat up everything we got.
Well, I can imagine before we even use them, just saying, guys, y'all take it for what it's worth. About March to April, when we really need those wood chips, there's going to be so many termites.
There's going to be so many termites in them that we're not even going to be able to do anything with them. It's going to be crazy
because I put wood, wood shavings.
Yeah.
What is it called? I can't even think of the word I'm thinking. Where they cut the lumber.
Oh, sawdust. Sawdust. Where we had lumber sawed out here with sawdust.
I brought the sawdust home to use around plants, and it laid out there, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. It had all kinds of termites in it.
It had jillions of termites in it after 2 weeks just sitting there.
I was like, man.
It's just, so.
How do we get an email? May be able to help with the central heat situation. It is info@deepsouthhomestead.com. Danny gonna lose his OCD on them wood chips. That he is, believe me. Can we turn them to keep the critters out? No. I don't have enough time to turn 3 18-wheeler loads of wood chips. I'm sorry. That's a lot of wood chips there now. And I only had, about 6 or 8 5-gallon buckets of the sawdust.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, I finally moved it all because they were just eating everything up. Those termites, once they get in something here, it's just bad.
How are we keeping pipes from freezing? We leave the water running. That's about all. They're all wrapped, but
yeah.
But we just leave the water running.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've missed some things. I've seen some questions go by that I missed.
Y'all just have to repost.
You just have to repost them because
I'm trying to look at the TV and I'm having to duck down. If y'all keep seeing me go back, because I can't read the little writing on the computer and I'm watching it on the TV. And it really is a little tough on me, but so we've talked about his homesteading video.
Yeah, my homesteading video, it wasn't a very popular one this time, but it was honest truth, and I'm going to tell it like it is.
And the one coming up is going to be pretty honest too.
What is it that the guy who's coming here? What's his name again?
Substance and
covering. I'm going to say what he says. If you don't want to survive the apocalypse. Then don't listen
to me.
That's why
we're gonna have some fun times with him. I know y'all are really gonna get a kick out of this guy. He is here in Mississippi, and Danny and I have been watching him off and on for a couple of years, I guess. And so he has contacted us, and we've been talking back and forth. And he's coming in the next couple of weeks, and we just think it's going to be a pretty cool collaboration there with him, y'all.
Yeah, if y'all ain't never seen Substance and Covering, he is really a cool guy. I mean, he may look a little rough for some of you, but he's really a great guy.
Yeah, and so we're going to throw something out there in the next 3 or 4 weeks with him, and I think y'all are going to enjoy him.
Yeah, Patero says they have a teacher for mushrooms on May the 6th now.
Yes, that's something we need to mention. May the 6th is the Great Appalachian Homestead Conference.
Yes.
And it's going to be in Crossville, Tennessee. And if you need tickets, I meant to get with Patera. I think on my Facebook site, I've posted the link. So if you can go to our Facebook site, you can check for the link to get tickets. And also on Patera's Appalachian Homestead on Facebook, she has it listed how to get tickets. It's going to be a great lineup, folks. You know, not only you get to see Patera, but you get to see us. That's pretty cool. But we have Old Alabama Gardeners joining us. Oops, I might have said something out of line.
I don't know, did you?
I don't know if she's announced yet, but Old Alabama Gardener's going, guys. And he's like our go-to guy when we need to know something. We check in with Mr. Charles. And then we have Starry Hilder, and we have J-Null, and who else? I know them right now.
Look, all I know is I'm supposed to be there, and God's going to be with me to be there. That's all I know.
But we are looking forward to it, y'all. Will Patera sing? If I have anything to do with it, Patera's going to sing, guys.
Okay. Yeah, they're talking about turning chickens loose on the wood chips. The wood chips is out in the middle of my yard out here. If I turn my chickens loose, it's right beside my garden. They would just eat my garden up. So I ain't gonna be able to turn my chickens into
Well,
the
we
wood
have
chips.
some that free range anyway because they get out and go where they want to.
Yeah, but when gardening season comes back in, they're not
gonna be free
no.
range.
No, I'm just letting them do it right now to kill some of the bugs around the place here because they get up around all the trees and scratch and around the house and scratch. They're actually getting rid of a lot of the insects and bugs that we hadn't had any cold weather to kill, but now we got this cold weather, maybe we might get rid of a few bugs anyway.
Yeah. Now, Tommy Alderman, the Alderman Farms is going to Patera's conference too. And y'all, Patera can only read the comments. She can't hear what we're saying. So you guys tell her that she is being requested to sing at the conference. That way she'll know what she's wanting to know what y'all were saying about her singing.
Yeah. Chickens will keep turning over the chips while at the same time adding their manure to it. Yep. Yeah, and
we may have to take that little fence.
We got a deal at a co-op here. One of our co-ops went out of business. It was this past week. Her husband got cancer a couple of weeks ago, and they had to close down the co-op. And they sold everything in there at half price. And we was able to get us a chicken fence, one of these electric chicken wires, for half price, and a big roll of it. So we're going to try to see if we can use that and maybe put it around some things like the wood chips and stuff like that to see if we can let the chickens get in there and do a little bit of the, composting for us there. I'm going to put my OBS back up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Every time I do something, I knock down part of it.
Yeah, she takes down part of my screen where I can't see. I have to be able to see the screen. But yeah, it's let's see, added Teresa Dean as a mod. Please.
I did.
Okay.
I got it. Transformers blew up 2 of them. I guess Teresa Dean was having some issues with that. All right. Let's see, I'm trying to read to Danny.
Teresa says thank you for the blue thing.
Teleporter ready by the time of the conference. Mr. Rain, let me tell you how you get to the conference. You order a ticket, buy a bus ticket, a train ticket, a plane ticket, or
put some gas in your vehicle.
Car.
Rent a car.
We'll teleport you right on down. So I see we are having little issues with some.
Okay. Yeah, thank y'all. I'll tell her that y'all are praying for her husband when we see her. It was just a spur of the moment thing. They found out he had cancer and they just closing the whole co-op. That's one of the reasons that y'all saw us going to Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
It's because we have 2 co-ops in our town here. One of them closed because it handles some things that the other one doesn't handle. And now Wanda and I have to go all the way to the coast if we want to get certain things for our animals. So, it kind of leaves us in a little bit of a pickle, but we have to do what we have to do.
And then Danny put up, should we wear gloves? That is where he and Dirtpatch are in the strawberry bed.
Yeah.
And starts out with him and Mr. Dirt fixing the bed and replacing all the lumber. And we had a lot of people ask
people ask about the lumber, saying, why didn't you use cedar? Well, the bottom line is that we put cedar on it twice. And the termites have eaten part of it, and part of it has rotted. So for over the past 6 or 7 years, I've replaced cedar twice in that bed, and I just decided this time I'm just going to go ahead and put the treated wood down and get it over with and be done with it. It'll last me for probably 10, 15 years this
The
way.
other way it was lasting, what, 3 to 4?
Maybe 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
The other way, it wasn't lasting very long at all.
And then when they got through, Julianne came out and she and Danny sat there pulling all the
we pulled all the strawberries up and got
plants,
rid of the 3-year-old plants and put the 1 and 2-year-old plants back in the bed.
But that's a new video.
That's a whole new video, yeah.
The second part's coming up maybe next week.
Next week we'll have the second part to the strawberry
And while we're
bed.
talking about Julianne, today, if you haven't already seen it, go to Dirtpatcheaven and check out North versus South, the winter.
Yeah, she had the winter
fall.
series. She has the winter series of North versus the South.
Yeah.
I'll be every Saturday for the month of January. We're going to be putting up a video.
One on her channel and one
on her channel, one on my channel, one on her channel, one on my channel, doing the 4 seasons of the year, North versus the South. Mine will be next Saturday. It'll be the springtime. Yes. She did the winter. I'm doing the spring. She'll have the summer, and then I'll have the fall.
And that'll be every Saturday. And y'all just check it out because this was really a good series. They sat down, had a really good talk, and they found out things from each other that they didn't know about the seasons. Like Danny didn't realize in Idaho how different it was from here. And it was really a pretty good deal. And John and I enjoyed just listening to them talk. I mean, that's all we could do. We couldn't really give y'all much help.
Yeah, somebody just asked, could we use 10 for a raised bed? Not in South Mississippi. When the temperature gets to be 110 degrees down here,
it'll be 150.
That 10 will be 150 to 160 degrees. So you can't raise anything in 10 in South Mississippi. Somebody wants to know, how did the sugarcane fare? Well, we got it all cut off and below the ground. So we're hoping that it's full spectrum ash. I remember now. So hopefully it's fared well. You know, it's under the ground, and we won't actually know until it warms back up again. You know, the crazy thing is, I looked at the extended forecast.
It warms up this week.
Tuesday, the temperature here is going to be back up to 70 degrees almost. And can you believe that? It's 21 degrees right now, and Tuesday it's going to be back up to 70.
And probably by next Friday or Saturday, we'll see little green cane up about this tall.
The cane will be sticking up that. We'll have to do it all over again.
This is the second time we've cut the cane for the winter.
Yes.
And we may have to do it one more time.
Well, we'll do it as long as we have to. I mean, that's the bottom line.
We'll quit cutting it about, what, March?
We'll quit cutting it when the last freeze comes.
After February, probably?
Yeah, after February, we'll probably quit cutting it. I hope it makes it fine, too, there. I think it's Brad, and because it's just one of them things that it's part of our lifeblood here, you know, because we make our own syrup and our own sugar, stuff like that with sweeteners. For some reason this year, the bee people did not come back and bring our honeybees, so we didn't get any honey this year, so we're going to have to make sure we get our own syrup this year.
Yeah, and somebody was asking where, how far north does Dirtpatch? So she lives in Idaho.
Central Idaho.
Central Idaho, I think.
Yeah.
And it's quite different from here. I mean, very, very different.
A lot of different here. Even the temperatures, I mean, they're used to minus 30-degree temperature there, and when it was 40 degrees here, they had coats and jackets on about to freeze to death because of the humidity. They go, oh my God, how do y'all stand this temperature?
And somebody asked where they're at. They are in Florida now with Just So Trish. Trish has a small trailer that they are using for the next 2 months, and then they're going to be traveling some or deciding where they're going from there, but they're settling in pretty good in Florida. John really likes this weather. He likes.
Oh, John loves this.
Florida is just right up his alley.
Yeah.
Until summertime, and then I think he's going to change his mind.
I think so. Yeah. Let me see here. Anna says they are in Florida and they're expecting 28 degrees there. Yeah, y'all are just now starting to get what we've been having, so it's going to be pretty cold there too. Do you have crazy ants? I can't grow anything because of them. Yes, we have crazy ants. They're called fire ants. We can't grow anything for them stupid things.
Well, we can, but we have to watch.
You got to constantly, like I planted cabbages. They eat every one of them off level with the ground.
Yeah, we have no cabbages. But we usually plant enough that if something gets some of them, we still have some to have. But the cabbage, it just we have not had luck in like a year with cabbages in the spring. What got our cabbages in the spring? Rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbits ate every one of the cabbage and the broccoli in the spring, and then something got them this time. So we just are not doing well. We're going to start putting them in pots or something.
We had someone there that said their stove, y'all excuse me just a minute, I'm going to lean forward here. Said their stove vented out the back. Let's see here.
Have to go ways back.
Oh, there it is. Homegrown said their wood stove vents out the back. Homegrown, let us know what kind of wood stove it is that you have, because we're looking at Southern Ladies in McGee. Cool. We're trying to figure out which wood stoves we can look at that vent out the back. Even if you have to send us a private message on our YouTube channel, let us know which variety you have. Oh, Southern Lady 44 is in McGee, Mississippi. I have been to McGee many times, so we're not that far apart. We're only an hour and a half apart. That's pretty cool.
Tara said she killed off fire ants with DE. I think they love that stuff here.
Here we pour DE all over them, Patera.
We've not found anything to kill.
They just eat it like candy. It don't even affect them. AC Skipper wants to know, do we do bees? We don't do them ourselves. We have a guy who usually brings about 100 bee boxes and leaves on our property here, and
he just didn't come
this year. I don't know what's up with it. I got to call him and find out what's going on.
I think it's because it's hot, because last winter it never cooled off, and he lost a good bit of the bees because of that, and it's not cooled off till now. So he really hasn't had a chance. He would usually bring them in October when the temperatures turn cool.
Yeah.
And we just hadn't had any cool weather.
Yeah, it's this is the first cold weather we've had basically. Well, we had one time when Dirtpatcheaven was here, it got down to 20-something degrees, but this is the first major cold we've had.
Like a night or something.
Right. Okay, somebody's asking
Homegrown is a estate heatrola. Estate heatrola, something. That's what it's called. Flat top door with a window.
CNJ, where y'all live in Deep South? We are about 30 miles north of the Mississippi Gulf Coast CNJ Farms. Somebody was asking what DE is. DE is diatomaceous earth. It is ancient crustaceans, basically, if you want to look at it, that's been ground up.
Joey Chansey says grits or an Alka-Seltzer ground up. And I've not heard the Alka-Seltzer thing.
We've tried everything in the world. If we do it, we get rid of one fire ant bed, it moves over about 3 feet and pops back up again. We've got,
they're bad here. We just learned to live with them.
Yeah, it's been.
And really, I don't know that they were as bad this year as they have been because it was so hot. They didn't come to the surface as bad because we didn't have that much water.
Plus, it's a drought.
Yeah, and so they didn't come to the surface like usual. Yeah. But now that it's raining, they'll start popping up everywhere. That's usually the deal. So, what else do we have going on other than? Let's see.
We had the off-grid cooking. The world events. We talked about. I put up a little quick live stream video dealing with some world events and how does that affect us as homesteaders? You know, I talked about some of the things that's going on with the nation of Israel, how that our country and what they're doing with the nation of Israel. I talked about how the fact is right now most of our aircraft carriers, not only our aircraft carriers. Some people took that wrong. I did not say that during Pearl Harbor we had all of our aircraft carriers in port. We had a lot of our ships in port, not our aircraft carriers. I mean,
but he meant it was the same.
It's the same scenario. I mean, we have all of our ships located in one place at one time, which makes them sitting ducks. You know, that's one thing I was talking about in that, talking about how this kind of stuff does affect us as homesteaders. Because if God goes to punishing our country for something we do against Israel, then, you know, as a homesteader, we suffer for that. Yeah. Based on how God, how God punishes a country.
Yeah, and Miss B Lady had sent us a message on some of that, and she's saying all of them are in Port Danny. Yeah, I think they've been there for
They've
they've
been
been
there.
moving them for the last week or so
Been the
or
last couple of
something.
weeks. They've been
So
moving them back and putting them in port. Now I don't know what's up with that. I have no idea. You know, a lot of people was wanting to know the link to the guy that I spoke to, or to the channel or whatever you want to call it, about the United States military is calling chemists back in. I cannot give this guy's name. He's a personal friend, but he does biological warfare for the United States military, and
and it doesn't mean that that's a going to happen. It just means they are covering all their bases when they
yeah,
pull these people in like this. It's you know,
yeah.
it's just one of those, they cover every basis. If something's going to happen, they want everything covered.
Yeah, my friend was called up in Desert Storm, and for 6 weeks, they had him underground, hidden, doing stuff. I don't know. I mean, he's not allowed to talk about what he did, but they, because he's a chemist.
Yes, Miss B
Yes,
Lady, we
we
did
saw
get it a
that.
while ago.
Yeah, we saw that on YouTube where you sent us that, B lady. Oh, let's see here. Appalachia says coveralls or else. Your butt is colder than.
I guess she gets pretty cold.
It gets cold.
It
Yeah.
was cold here today, and it'll be cold tomorrow. But you know, after that, it'll start warming up, and we'll be okay again. If you have any prayer requests, if you will, go ahead and be putting them up. And after us is Zach at An American Homestead,
Yes.
and we're all a part of the homesteadnetwork.com. You can check out all the channels and all the times. And Night Patero, love you, girl. And well, we have Doug and Stacy in the
Hey, Doug
house.
and Stacy,
Just
good
saw.
to see you, man. You just popped
Um,
up here at the last minute.
so we are part of the Homestead Network. There's a lot of channels in the network. You should find somebody there you like, because there's a whole bunch of us right
The bee
now
lady wants to know, do we have sleeping bags? Oh, we don't have no sleeping
in the
bags.
attic.
We got some that's about 20 years old, or probably older than that. I had them when my kids was little, up in the attic. I'm not sure they're even good anymore, but
We have lots of blankets and different types of blankets. It's not cold in the house. It's it probably over the next day or so won't get down past 60, if it even gets that cold.
the house stays about 65 most of
60
the
to
time.
65,
60 to
and
65.
that's comfortable. Y'all see, I'm good.
Yeah.
So we're not cold, and it'll warm up. Next week I'll be running around a tank top again.
Oh, Susan says just cuddle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do that too.
we do that too. I mean, but like it is, in order for me to keep from waking her up a lot, the bed, actually, my knee is on her bed right here.
Until for a couple
For
of
a couple of
days.
days, I actually sleep on the couch right here behind me because I have to get up every hour to keep this fire going in the wood heater. So I don't want to wake her up during the night. Um,
Okay, so we've got several putting up their prayer request, and one Lisa, and I'm not giving her last name. I've not even seen her on here tonight that I know of, but Lisa sent me a request that we pray for her, and that we pray for her niece and her nephew. And so we've got many on there, and you guys were going to go ahead and have a prayer.
yeah, we don't have much time, so we're gonna go ahead and say a prayer, and so we don't want to take up none of Zach's time. Father, we come to you tonight, Lord. We just want to open our hearts up to you and our minds. And first off, we want to ask for forgiveness for any sin in our life, Lord, that might keep this prayer from reaching your throne of grace. And Father, we just forgive us of that now. And Lord, we just want to ask that you look down upon us, and Father, find grace and mercy, and you show it to us, Father. And Lord, there's so many people out here tonight that's in this deep freeze weather that we're experiencing. Father, I ask that you protect all their places, their pipes, their pets, their animals, their homes, their loved ones. Father, that they make it through this cold spell safely, and they don't lose anything on their farms or homesteads or anything like that, Lord. And just be good to them all in that aspect. And Father, I want to pray for our country and the problems that we're facing here today as a new incoming president comes in. I pray that we can make this transition smoothly, and Lord, I just pray for blessings on America so that all of us homesteaders can enjoy a few more years of good homesteading, Lord. and good health and strength. And I pray for just the health of everybody watching here tonight, Father. I pray that if they have any kind of health issues, that you'll just reach down and heal them, and Father, that you'll just renew their strength. And as it says in the book of Isaiah, that they'll mount up wings like eagles and be able to run and fly again, Lord. And Father, I just want to take this time to pray for those that, Lord, that are less fortunate than us tonight, that are having to struggle and with the cold weather and don't have a place to sleep, Father. I pray for them that you'll be able to keep them warm tonight. And Father, I just want to thank you for our channel and thank you for each and every one of the people that are here watching us tonight. I pray that they receive a blessing from having been on the channel tonight now. And I ask that you bless each and every one of them. I ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
All right, you guys, head over to An American Homestead with Zach and Jamie, and we will talk to you guys later.